Hi, hello, welcome. My name is Kim Baker, owner of Simply Sufficient Life, where we teach others to live organized with less intentionally and thrive with a money plan. I'm so glad to have you here on the International Day of Calm. Welcome. Um, we're bringing peace with a budget today, and I am so glad that you are here. So let's dig right in and talk about finances and budgeting. So, how many of you, whenever I just say those words, finance and budget, you feel the stress levels start to rise, your stomach gets all in knots, some of you may even feel like you could throw up, like it brings a whole lot of stress. Your heart starts beating faster. Some of you are just like, oh, no, not money, right? Let's not talk about money. But listen, what if I told you creating a budget or a money plan, as I like to call it, could do away with those feelings when you think or talk about finances? There are some very big misconceptions about budgets. Some may come from experiences, but some are just from what we've heard others say. So we're going to tackle a few of those today. The first one being that budgets are restrictive. Budgets are only restrictive if you choose to create your budget to be restrictive. Like you are in control of your budget. You get to decide how restrictive it is. And I guess that depends on what you want it to do for you as to how restrictive you get. I know when my husband and I started, like we were super, super restrictive because at first there was no money to do anything with. Robbing Peter to pay Paul, as they say, right? So when you're in a case like that, sometimes you have to make it restrictive to start, but it doesn't have to stay that way, right? Do you want to save money quickly or pay off debt in a short amount of time? Make it a little bit more restrictive. Do you want to have money to go out to eat every week? Do you like to go to the movies or buy things as a hobby that you need, like that you love, things that you need to buy for a hobby? Set up your budget to allow for that. The great thing about budgets is that you create it. You are in control of it. You get to tell your money what it's going to do for you, right? The second misconception may be not be a misconception at first, but it keeps people from creating a budget. They say it's hard, but let's talk a little bit about hard, right? Living paycheck to paycheck is hard. Choosing what bills to pay and what bills to let go at the end of each month because there's too much month at the end of the money, that's hard, right? Fighting with your spouse about money is hard. Money in marriage is a whole other subject, but we'll touch on that a little bit later. Feeling like your money is flying out the window and you have no idea where it goes is hard, right? On that note, I want to do a little money exercise with you. So I want you to grab a pen and a piece of paper. It doesn't have to be very big, but make it big enough to be able to do a little math on it, right? If you're like me, I've been a bookkeeper for years, like 30 years. I love numbers, but I love my calculator. You can use your phone, computer, whatever it is you're watching on this if you want to, but piece of paper and a pen and calculator, unless you're a whiz at, multiplying, then you're good to go, right? Okay, so if your pen and paper are ready, I want you to write down your monthly income. If you're married, right, and you know your spouse's income, figure that in as well. It can be your gross amount or, which is your money before taxes are taken out, or it can be your net amount, which is after your taxes are taken out. Either one, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to use a $500 a week amount. But if you're paid once every 2 weeks, multiply that number by 2 to come up with your monthly amount. If you're paid once a week, multiply it by 4, and so on. So I'm going to use $500 a week to make the amount of the math easier on me. So let's say me and my spouse both, I'm getting all tongue-tied. Sorry about that. So let's say both my spouse and I make $500 a week. So I'm going to multiply that. My husband, me, so we're making $1,000 a week, $4,000 a month. That's the number that I'm going to use. So hopefully you have your number now, your monthly income, right? Now I want you to multiply that number, your number, by 12. And that gives you your yearly income. Using my example, at $4,000 a month, I am at $48,000 with my husband and I both making $500 a week, right? Does that make sense? I hope. So my amount is $48,000. So I'll give you a minute. Just multiply your monthly number by 12. Come up with your annual number. Now we're going to take that annual amount and multiply that by 10. So in my example, that puts me at $480,000. So that's almost $500,000. So what is your number? What number did you come up with? How much have you made in the last 10 years? Now I have another question for you. Where is it? What did that do to you? How did that make you feel? That's hard, right? Where's the money? And if you're somebody that's not used to a budget, some of you might be going, oh, like me, when I heard my husband and I's number, that 10 years, when we did this exercise, my mouth dropped to the floor. And I was like, oh my goodness, I had no realization that we were going through that much money, because when you're in it every single month, it doesn't feel like a lot, right? It doesn't feel like you're making a lot of money, because at the next paycheck, most of the time you're waiting on that next paycheck. Let me have some more money, right? So hopefully that will really have you pay attention to today about how much a budget helps with that. It will help you with that feeling. It will help you know where your money's going. So let's go to the next misconception, which is I can't stick to a budget. I hear that a lot, so much. You can stick to a budget if you start with the right information and the right numbers, right? I can help with that. I love this part of creating a budget. The beginning, the very beginning, it's one of my favorite parts, the discovery part. If you have no idea where to start, I got you. When we're finished here today, I have a great offer that will help you with this, whether you have no idea where to start, whether you tried to budget and things always either cost more than what you budgeted, or you don't know how to budget for those things that aren't always the same month to month, or those expenses that just keep popping up that bust your budget, and I can help with all of that. For now, let's keep going. You can also stick to a budget if you have a reason to stick to a budget. This is huge, and a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people just are like, oh, I need to create a budget because, I need to get a handle on my money. That's all fine and good, but you don't stick to it because there's nothing in it for you, right? Budgeting is the gateway to your dreams. I believe that with all of my heart, because I am living proof that it is. My husband and I, get this, were almost $600,000 in debt, over $500,000 in debt, right? Oh, holy moly. Total shock when I found out. But guess what I'm doing now? My husband and I, just 8 short years later, which maybe 8 years sounds like a long time, I can tell you that it goes by really, really fast. And if you have kids, you know it goes by really fast, right? My husband and I are living one of our dreams. We're traveling the US full time in our RV. 8 years ago, I was over $500,000 in debt. And we don't make that much money, right? We did not make that much money. We're your average kind of people. So budgeting is the gateway to your dreams. Let's go back to the money and marriage thing. So did you know that finances are still one of the #1 reasons couples get divorced? And I find that really, really sad, because talking about money and making a plan for your money together can stop a whole lot of those money fights. It doesn't mean that you won't ever have one again, but it definitely will really help. And budgets, of course, are not the cure-all for money fights, but it definitely, definitely helps. The key is for both of you to lay out your goals and your dreams with each other. And then when you create that budget, you create it based on that, like work together, compromise. What are you going to do first? How are you going to reach those dreams? And you just start planning for them. Communication is huge in that sort of thing. And, maybe you're thinking, oh, my husband would never go for that. Well, you have to at least try, right? And if he doesn't, that doesn't mean that you can't budget, and it doesn't mean that you still can't stick to a budget. There's always a way to figure it out. I was at a conference before, and there was a lady. She was older than me, even at the time, and she couldn't get her husband on board for the budget, but she learned how to do it without him and without him knowing. And she bought him a brand new vehicle and paid cash for it, and he didn't even know that she paid cash for it. So at this conference, the speaker knew what had happened, so she called the woman up on stage, and the woman from the stage told her husband that she had got them completely debt free, and that the car they had just bought was already paid for and paid for with cash. He actually started crying, like he was shocked. And then he was upset with himself a little bit for not helping her, but he was like, I need you to tell me how you did this, because like now I want to do something for you, kind of thing, right? So when you talk about your dreams and your goals together, you get to decide what you work together towards. And that gets you both on the same page financially. And when you're on the same page, you both know where the money's going and you both know why it's going there, and it makes it a whole lot easier. But like I said, of course, that will automatically cause less money fights, right? If you're in agreement about your finances, there will be no reason to fight about money, right? But like I said, you don't it's worth a try, but if you can't agree on it, there's still a way to get it done, right? Sometimes it's scary to think about finances, and maybe you're like I was, and you lay in bed at night to decide which bills you're going to pay and which ones you're going to go let go until the next paycheck, knowing that they're going to be late and you don't really want to know how bad your financial situation is. I didn't, for sure. I knew it was bad. I was really afraid of the number, and when I saw the number, mind blowing, right? But again, that's something that's hard and it's stressful. And the only way to bring peace into your finances is to figure out what your numbers are and then doing something about it. I want to let you know why I'm doing this, why I'm helping people budget and learn how to budget and all things money, living a simpler life intentionally. Um, my heart goes out to those working moms who want to be stay-at-home moms. That was my dream since I was in middle school. A counselor called us in to prepare us for high school, right? They asked that question, what do you want to be when you grow up? My answer was a mom. They didn't know how to schedule my courses for that. But anyway, we won't talk about how long ago this is, but I've always dreamed of just being I don't want to say just being, because I think that is one of the highest callings that there ever is to be a mom. But all I ever wanted to do was be a stay-at-home mom. God definitely created me for that. I ruined it with debt, and I want to keep other people from doing the same thing. I remember, and I will probably never ever forget this. It is a huge regret of mine, and I've had to forgive myself for it. But one of my sons was in school at the time. He came home. He was young, so excited. I'm pretty sure he was in elementary school. I even remember like his smile while he's telling me about this field trip his class was going on, and I needed to sign the permission slip that was in his book bag, and he takes it out, and I had to sign it and send it in with $7. And then he was like, Mom, they need moms to go along with us on the trip, and I really want you to go. Like, he was so excited about me being a chaperone. It was $7, right? I had to pay the $7 too. And it was so sad. He was so excited. And then I saw that excitement drain from his little face. I broke my son's heart because I didn't have the money to pay for me to go along. I just didn't have control of my money. I probably had the $7, but it didn't feel like I had $7 because I was constantly like thinking, oh, I need it for this bill, I need it for that bill. We're not going to have enough groceries. I'm not going to have enough, right? I didn't have control of my finances. It always felt like I never had enough. I tried to budget, it never worked. I always went over budget. I always had too much left over at the end of the money. Is there anybody else like that? So that day definitely changed my life. That day I made up my mind, I'm going to do something about my finances. And when I do, I'm going to help other people not have to go through the same thing. It was heartbreaking. Honestly, the relationship with my son was very strained from that point on, and he was in elementary school, right? I have a wonderful relationship with him now. I apologized to him. Him and I both ended up in tears. I apologized for that, for not taking control of my money, which made me say, sorry, I can't take off work because I need the money and I don't have the extra $7 to go. It's horrible. It's horrible to have to do that. It's a horrible feeling. I wasn't able to be a stay-at-home mom for my kids, and it took me a long time to get out of debt. But I was able to chaperone on some field trips after that because I took control of my money. And I can be there for my kids now, and I'm there for my grandkids. And I'm doing this because I want you to be able to say yes to the chaperoning. I'm doing this so you can budget your dream to being a stay-at-home mom. Now, if that's not your dream, I'm also doing this so you can live your dream life because you deserve it. Over the past 8 years, we were able to pay off over $500,000 in debt. And like I said, we didn't make that much money every year. But creating a plan for your money to match your dreams, it works. And if I can do it, being that far in debt, anybody can do it. You don't have to be a whiz at numbers. Like I said, I mean, I've been a bookkeeper for 30 years and I still use a calculator. I use a calculator. Addition, subtraction, I just don't like to do it in my head, right? So to make a budget, you need to know your income, you need to know your expenses, and you need to know your why. You have to have a reason. If you're just doing it to pay off your bills, you're never going to stick to it because that doesn't reward you at all. And if you want help with this, if you're tired of creating a budget and having it just be ruined with pop-up expenses, groceries costing more than you budgeted for, you can go to simplysufficientlife.teachable.com. You may have to create a Teachable account. I'm not sure how Teachable works. I just recently signed up with them. It's a new platform for me. But once you've signed in to simplysufficientlife.teachable.com, you can go to my products and click on the plan to plan. That's what the course is called. And it's all about it walks you through the process step by step of gathering all of the information that you need before you create your money plan. It's the plan to plan, right? No more wondering where to start. This is it. This is the starting point. So the budgeting thing, I'll go backwards a little bit with my story. I used to think that I was a great budgeter. I learned to budget when I got my very first job. My mom stuck to a budget like glue. I mean, she was great at it. She taught me how to do it. So I've done it all my life. But when I started making more money and I had a family and all those things, and you see all these things, even now they do it. You know, you can buy this interest free, payments for 24 months, or we can buy this at 0% interest, but you have to have this much down payment, or like you can finance furniture, you can finance a TV, you can finance like anything and everything. And the way I don't want to say world, but maybe that's, I don't know, the way things are, like even when my kids, when they were in high school, started getting credit card company solicitations. Eek, right? I have a son who's never had a credit card. He has one now, he's married, but he learned from my mistakes and doesn't go into debt for things. Him and his wife pay cash for everything. I have another son, one of the other ones who suffered the brunt, or I wouldn't say suffered the brunt, that one of the ones that lived through us getting out of debt with us is my best child financially, I should say, because he learned as we were doing, then he started doing, saving money, being sure that he allowed himself spending money. He always had a goal for his money. We taught them giving as well, to make sure that they give right off of the top, give to other people who need it more. And this son is just so good with money. I'm so proud of him. I'm proud of all of my kids. All of them have learned from our mistakes and have come to us for advice because they know what we went through and how we got out of it. So any of them that did fall into to some financial hardships came to us to learn how to take care of it, and they're all doing quite well. So that's another reason to create a budget is your kids are watching you. Your kids will learn from you. So that's very important. Um, I just lost my train of thought. Sorry. Anyway, I just wanted to just definitely just talk to you about today, just about how budgeting can definitely bring peace and calm, happiness, bring your dream life to you. Once you get started, it's I found it kind of fun. Maybe it's because I'm a numbers nerd. Maybe you're not a numbers nerd and hate paperwork and hate anything to do with writing things down and keeping track of money things and all that. But listen, I have a super super simple budgeting system. Pretty much do it once and you're done kind of thing. You just follow it. So it's very simple. Filing is simple. All of it is simple. But the course that I'm offering is sort of like the discovery of your complete financial situation. There's no more wondering about your income, no more wondering about what your expenses are, even the ones that kind of pop up. No more wondering about your debt. If you've tried to budget, there will be no more wondering how much to budget for things like groceries, no more missing those pop up expenses. I created a formula I'm calling the backwards 312 to help with all those expenses that aren't like in your everyday monthly bills. The plan to plan is being offered at a special price for a very limited time for you, and then the price goes up. The doors will also be closing shortly after the price goes up, and I'm not sure when I will offer it again. I have made a no-brainer price of just $27 to help as many people as possible be able to get the course. So hop on over to simplysufficientlife.teachable.com and grab it today. I really hope this helped you to decide that a money plan or a budget is definitely worth it. You and your dreams are worth it. Having a budget will definitely bring peace and calm into your home where your finances are concerned, right? I've enjoyed having you here very much today. I really hope to hear how the budgeting changes your life, or how excited you might be or not excited, even if you're a little bit scared. Like, let me know. You can reach me at through email at Kimberly, Kimberly at simplysufficientlife.com. Shoot me an email. I'm also on Facebook at Simply Sufficient Life. I hope to hear from you soon. Um, I didn't plan on doing this, but anybody that buys the course that wants a little bit of extra help, I think I'm going to offer um, a discovery, or maybe we won't call it a discovery call, but like a free consultation with you to see if there's anything that I can help you with that you might be stuck on, maybe you're a little fearful about, maybe I didn't cover it in this video. So anybody that purchases the course, I will reach out, or you can reach out to me at the email that I told you about. If you show proof, we'll set up a little call to get together and talk um, and see what we can work out, and if there's any other way that I can help you. So, but it's been a pleasure to be here with you today. I again just really hope that this makes a difference in helping you decide to jump in there and create a money plan for you and your family. So, okay, that is all that I have. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Okay, bye.